thanks for joining us, Guy. Today we have the weekly webinar. Last week we didn't have the webinars because we know that you all are busy with all this hurricane, and I hope that everyone that is in Florida, in the west part, you still safe and you didn't have any big damage, that it was just something that the policies or the insurance providers help you, right? That will work in insurance. So that's what I hope. And the agenda for today is, of course, the welcome part, then understanding and leverage NPS, think like a marketer, then the Q&A, and wrapping up. As you can see today, we have a speaker guest that is Marina. Marina is working with Oakland Insurance. She's the marketing leader. So I'm going to ask Marina to introduce herself. And before we jump in all of these topics that you talk about yourself, your career, and something else that you want to share with us, Marina.
Hi guys, I'm Marina Fleuchaus. I'm originally from Florida and I am a marketing strategy consultant for Oakland Insurance. I've been with Oakland Insurance since 2020. In order to understand how my position has evolved, I have to say how I started with the Oaklands. So I was brought on in February of 2020 with a start date of March 30th, 2020 to be like an event marketer. So my job was to maintain business partner relationships through visiting offices, attending events, hosting events. And of course, when March 30th, 2020 rolled around, we couldn't do that with the COVID-19 restrictions. So about a week before my position started, I sent our agency owner, Brent O'Quinn, an email saying, I know my job doesn't exist anymore, but here are all the digital marketing things that I could do for your agency that you're not currently doing. So through that, my position grew from being an event marketer to digital marketing, then back to event marketing once COVID restrictions were lifted. And now I am a marketing consultant for Brent. So I wear a lot of hot hats in the agency. And through that, I've been able to learn many different skills, and I'm very appreciative to the Oaklands for giving me the opportunity to be in this position and learn these things. And Sandy Copson, who's on the call right now, who has really mentored me through analyzing data and just getting my hands dirty on how marketing impacts our agency, from leads to closing percent, so on and so forth. I've really enjoyed my position, and over 5 years, it's grown a lot. So here I am.
That's amazing, Marina. So you were working also in insurance, or this is your first insurance agency?
This is my first insurance agency. When the Oaklands hired me, I had a full event marketing background, and the Oaklands are very involved in their community. So I was coming in to help manage the calendar, plan new events, grow our busy event calendar. Most of our leads do come from face-to-face interactions with our customers and referral partners. So I was able to come in and fine-tune and grow that, which has been awesome.
That's amazing. And before we jump in all of these NPS, understanding marketing, what is the big difference that you have seen, like coming from marketing and marketing in insurance? Because what I notice also is that, I mean, it's my first time also in insurance business, but I have noticed also that some insurance agencies, they need to build a better marketing strategies to really reach their goals.
So coming from marketing in other industries to insurance, it was different, but it wasn't as different as I had expected. It's all about maintaining that client relationship and growing the loyalty that you have with your clients. So Oakland Insurance is a family-run agency, and because we're so involved in our community, we're able to grow relationships within our community with our clients that big national corporations are not able to do because they might not have that local presence that we are able to have. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but
it does. Thank you, Marina. So, guys, if you have any questions, you know that we have the chat, or also we have the Q&A section. Please send us your message. I'm happy to answer all of your questions. Talking about marketing and client satisfaction. So I would like to cover four topics, Marina, that it's first one, understanding and leverage the NPS, then creating effective email campaigns, managing Google reviews, and streamlining process in InsuredMine. So
sure.
Let's start with NPS. Like, in your marketing perspective, what is NPS and why it's important?
Sure. So NPS stands for the Net Promoter Score. It's significant in gauging customer satisfaction and loyalty. It's a survey that through InsuredMine you can send to your clients to ask them on a 0 to 10 scale how satisfied they are with your agency. A promoter would be a 9 or a 10 score. A passive would be a 7 or an 8. And a detractor is considered 6 and below. Through InsuredMine, you can pull reports of your clients who are promoters, passive, and detractor scorers, and then you can build different processes to handle those scores. In our agency, promoters, the 9s and the 10s, receive a request to fill out a Google review. The reason that why we do this is because as a 9 or a 10, you expect that that person's going to leave you a 5 on Google, which is very important. For passives, we will send them an email and ask them if we're allowed to contact them in regard to their score and how we can improve. And for detractors, we'll do the same thing, but it will also contact them and put them into a pipeline to retain these clients so we don't lose them. It's scary and unfortunate to receive detracting low scores, but at the same time, it's a huge opportunity for your agency to grow and to learn from different things that might not be going well and improve on those things. You can also identify trends. If you have certain agents in your office who are receiving more detracting or passive scores, or you might have agents in your office who only get promoter scores. And it's great to know that because you can help your agents and celebrate them for that. So
yeah. So talking about agents, like you mentioned something that is important, that could happen both situations, right? That they receive a great promoter score, but also they receive detractors. So how the agency manage those? Like, do you coach your agents that they receive detractors, or for the agents that they receive more promoters, do you also ask them to connect with the agents that they are not receiving the best score?
So we're definitely still fine-tuning this process, and we haven't gotten as far to speaking with the agents on their different scores. Definitely when we have agents who are repetitively receiving promoter scores, we will have some kind of incentive for them. We have a program in our office that's called O'Quinn Bucks. Our agency name is O'Quinn Insurance. So we have O'Quinn Bucks, which is a point-based system that translates to dollar incentives. Through O'Quinn Bucks, you can shop in our company branded store and buy polos or cardigans or laptop sleeves or cups. Sometimes we'll throw on additional PTO, half day off, come into work late. We have these different incentives that kind of cycle through. We're talking about putting on Halloween Horror Night tickets because we're in Central Florida and that's only an hour away from us. So through promoting NPS scores, but a big part for us is Google reviews. So when they receive Google reviews that mention their names, they get a significant amount of O'Quinn bucks, and then they can spend those bucks in our store for different things that appeal to them. We also have a system called My Favorite Things. It's a form that we send to an employee within their onboarding. And this allows us to get to know our new employees better, but also reward them for good things that they're doing when we know what their favorite items are, whether it's a favorite restaurant, favorite coffee order, favorite candle scent. We have all these things listed out. They fill out the things that they like, and we will surprise them with little goodies and gifts. So
I like it.
thanks.
That's amazing. I mean, because that also helps your agents to motivate them, and of course, not only to focus in work, right? I mean, that motivates them to give the best, to close the deals, and then also to bring more or to find a way that either your client gives you the NPS or the Google review.
Exactly. And it also helps with our employee retention as well, which is very important. We invest so much in our employees in training, and we want them to stick around. So this helps with that as well.
And that's amazing. And how can we create an effective email campaign with NPS? Like, what will be your suggestion in order that we can say this is going to be an effective campaign that your client is going to, of course, buy the policy with you. At the end, that is going to become probably a referral, or they're going to provide you your NPS or the Google review.
Sure. So email campaigns is something I do a lot of. I would start first with determining which goal you want for your email campaign, whether it's to get more NPS scores, get a Google review, maybe it's to cross-sell a monoline client. You really want to establish what that goal is and then try to segment your email audience to best fit that goal. So if you have 10,000 clients and you want to cross-sell monoline home clients to auto policies, you would then, through InsuredMine, you can sort that list, break it down to clients who only have monoline policies, and that becomes your email list. That would be the first step. Then you want to create a very clear call to action within your email. You can use this in the subject line, in the body of your email. So if it's NPS, maybe the subject line is, how can we improve? Let us know how we're doing. And within the content of the email, you can have links and buttons that very clearly let your clients know where they're supposed to click, what they're supposed to do next. And after you send that email, I think it's very important to track the success of the email. There's no point at just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. You're never going to know what sticks if you're not tracking the results. So there's a couple different ways you can track results. You can track the percent of people that are opening your email. If you get a very low open rate, that would tell you your subject line probably isn't engaging enough. If you get a very high open rate, you have a good subject line. People are interested to know what you're sending them. And from that, you can send a follow-up email to people who are not opening your email, which would help with the engagement on your goal. You can also track success through intake forms. You can make intake forms on InsuredMine, and through the automation backend, you can change the lead source so that you can track where your leads are coming from. So if you're doing this monoline push to try to sell monoline home clients on auto policies, you can have an intake form for auto that has some kind of lead source of the effect of email campaign, monoline cross-sell, whatever your lead source is that you determine, you can create that yourself. Then on the back end, after you've sent the email, you can check in a couple days later and see how many people filled out the form, how many leads did you get from the email campaign. You can also use tracking phone numbers and website landing pages. Website landing pages you can track on Google Analytics, which I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do. And you can see how many people visited your site, what did they do once they went onto that site, what other places did they click, how long did they stay on your site, and through InsuredMine, you can put your intake form on your site and see how many leads you generated from your landing page. So there's tons of ways to track the success of an email campaign, and I think it's a critical step in sending a campaign, whether it be NPS, Google reviews, or just trying to get leads. And it's very important to know what's working and what's not working so you can improve your strategy.
And this is also part of, I mean, as you mentioned, building the correct template and the correct subject line. Because in InsuredMine, we provide different ways to send an email. Either it's in the pipeline automation or an email campaign or a workflow automation. So guys, what Marina mentioned is really important, that you need to consider that your subject line should be catchy in order that your clients or prospect open the email, and then inside of the email have the call to actions and the links that you want to redirect your client.
And another great way to make a catchy subject line is to use some of the dynamic content that InsuredMine offers through tags. You can add a tag for a client's first name, a client's full name, a client's address. You can use your agency name through tags. So this will automatically personalize the email for the specific client that you're reaching out to. So the subject line could say, "Hey, Hannah, how are we doing?" And that might attract you to click into the email more than just a "how are we doing?" line.
To make it more personalized, the template or the subject line.
Yes.
And you mentioned something that it's important also for all of us. It's like the lead source. How are you guys tracking the lead source, and how are you measuring that those lead sources that you are receiving are the correct ones, or the ones that you should invest more as a marketing?
So I think right now we have maybe 60 plus lead sources that we're currently tracking. Sandy and I work on this together, and we're constantly adding new lead sources and trying to refine the way that we track this so that it's more accurate. So some examples of how we track this is we have a Sherpa through InsuredMine who pulls a weekly lead source report. This shows us all of the leads that we got in the previous week and what lead source they were associated with. Through that, he also creates an overview showing us of these lead sources, how many are open, how many have been won, how many have been lost, and then the closing percent each week. We don't find that a lead source closing percent after 1 week is going to be accurate. So he also reruns this report twice a month. So at the beginning of the month and at the middle of the month, with all the leads from the prior month. The reason why we do this is our sales cycle is more than a month. It can be up to 3 months, and it's good for us to track the closing percent on a longer scale so we can really get an accurate number on where we're investing our money for marketing and what's working and what's not working. Some lead source examples that I can give are referrals. That's something I manage with a fine-tooth comb, and we have our referrals broken down very significantly. So we have total referrals, we have mortgagee referrals, realtor referrals, customer referrals, prior customer referrals, professional referrals, which could be inspectors or contractors, so on. And we monitor the lead source and the name and company of the referral source. So we have a custom field in our intake forms where our staff can go in and place in the person's name and company, maybe their phone number, maybe their home address. And each month we reach out to the referral partners and thank them for using us and referring our business. So
that's amazing. I mean, and I will encourage you guys that also you review your lead source, because as Marina mentioned, that is going to make you a decision make if you want to invest more money in that lead source, or probably you need to change your strategy. Like from where or from which place do you invest more? And I will also encourage that if you haven't taken the chance to look at Google Analytics, what it's providing to you, or other platforms, take a look, because those analytics is going to help you again to make decisions in order for your business to improve your digital presence and where do you have to put the money.
And it's really interesting on Google Analytics to see where your prospective clients look on your webpage. I mean, it's hard to tell who's a prospective client and who's an actual client on your website through Google Analytics. But if you see there's 500 people in 1 week viewing your hurricane blog, that's going to be a good indication to continue to create hurricane blogs specifically. Maybe you can try something different. Maybe you create a blog about assignment of benefits. That's one we have going out today. That's related to hurricanes, but different. And we'll see what the traction is on a blog that's similar. So, and it's a great way to determine where to put your resources.
That's correct. So now talking about managing your Google reviews. I know that you guys, when you start with InsuredMine, probably you were having like a low Google reviews, and after a certain time, your Google reviews increase. So besides managing in InsuredMine, what else are you guys doing in order to increase your Google reviews? And which parameters and metrics are you considering that a Google review is also going to help you to increase your visit in your website, or that also new leads coming from your website?
Sure. So Google reviews are very important in attracting potential clients. If you think about the way that you might look for any business, you're going to be looking at their Google reviews and comparing them to their competitors. So it increases credibility, it increases visibility through increasing your SEO, your search engine optimization. Google reviews actually contain keywords that Google will use when people are searching for different products. So home insurance, saving money on insurance, those keywords that might be contained in a Google review will help your search engine optimization when people are searching for your product. A good example of how Google reviews are currently affecting Oakwood Insurance, we hire another company that manages our Google ads, and they provide us recommendations on how we can improve our Google presence. This year, one of our main recommendations was to increase our Google reviews, because when you compare our business to our competitors in our area, local businesses that also have insurance, we are number 3 on the Google list. And the only reason why we're being shown 3rd is because of our number of Google reviews. So Oakwood Insurance has a 4.7 Google ranking or Google review rating. And in order for us to, even though we have a very high rating, we're still being shown below these other 2 companies because we need to increase the volume of our reviews. When we started with InsuredMine, I believe it was January 2023, we started our first automation in August 2023. From August until December, so just about 4 months, our Google reviews increased 30%. And then from August until today, a little over a year, we've gone up 60% in the number of reviews we've received on Google. That's amazing because it is hard to get Google reviews, but now that we have this automation in place through InsuredMine, the last step of our new business pipeline and our renewal pipeline is leaving us a review on Google. So it's sending a request to clients who have just purchased a policy with us and asking them to share their experience on Google. We are tweaking this strategy and adding an NPS first. However, currently we've been receiving an influx of 5-star reviews. We really have not received that many negative reviews. I mean, I would say 95%, if not higher, are 5 stars, which is very impressive. And it's just this automation to the clients that takes away the just like human error of forgetting to ask. Like our staff is supposed to ask for a Google review at the end of a call, but sometimes they forget. So the automation makes it so that nobody's being missed. Everybody's being asked to leave us a review on Google, and it has helped us significantly.
That's amazing. Yes, and you mentioned something. I mean, like, of course, all they intend with the automation is that if they forgot to ask, they have the automation, either it's the email or the text message that you already trigger, and the system is going to do it for them. So either they can ask on the phone, but they have the back end that the system is yes or yes, it's going to trigger that automation for them.
Yes. And we also have our Google review request in all of our agent signatures. So whenever agents are communicating with clients, in their signature is a very clear button that says, leave us a review on Google. I think we actually got the icon from Google, and then you can just embed the link from your Google reviews into the icon. I think you can pull the link from InsuredMine as well.
Yes, you can pull the link. I will share in a minute my screen to show you guys again the NPS, how to create an effective email, and the Google review. Now talking about streamline your process with InsuredMine, I know that you also have other integrations like a slide broadcast. So how can we say like this NPS, Google review, email campaign, and if we want to integrate another tool like a slide broadcast, thanks IO should be our priority, and also how we can say these actions or this process will become success because increase the close ratio or renewals.
Sure. So the two integrations I use the most with InsuredMine are Google My Business and Slide Broadcast. For those of you that might not know, Slide Broadcast is a way to create automated voicemails that can go into your clients direct to their voicemail box. So the phone will ring one time and then it'll go to voicemail, and this pre-recorded message will be in their voicemail. So it will appear as if you just called your clients. We use Slide Broadcast a lot within our different pipeline automations to support our staff in following up on payments, on quotes that have been sent that we might not have heard back from, thanking them for their business. We even use it in our birthday automation to wish them a happy birthday. So we use Slide Broadcast a lot. It's very user-friendly, and being able to have Slide Broadcast and Google My Business on our InsuredMine page is very helpful because it's just logging into one website to see all these different things instead of having to go to InsuredMine on one page, Slide Broadcast on another page, Google My Business on a third page. It's just one site that puts it all together. So I appreciate that about the integrations with InsuredMine, and I'm excited to play around with more integrations. I haven't started with Thanks.io yet, but that is on my list.
That's so great, Marina. Thank you so much for sharing all of these strategies and, of course, your point of view in marketing perspective with insurance and the tools, and how, of course, all of these agencies or all of our clients can improve their NPS, Google reviews. And, of course, if they haven't triggered any NPS or Google review, as you mentioned, start with small steps like including in your e-signature or in the automations in the renewal pipeline. That will be great to help you guys. So let me see if we don't have any questions so far. I don't think so. If not, just I'm going to share my screen to show you guys where you can find the NPS, the Google review, and the slide broadcast if you need it. Can you see my screen with InsuredMine? Yes, amazing. So here, if you open your menu bar in the left side, you will find the Google reviews. And Google reviews also, you have NPS. What you just have to do is just connect your Google review with InsuredMine, and it's going to show you all the Google reviews that you have received. Review the reviews. If someone, for example, they give you a 3, that it was just an example, this is the test account, and then the system is going to tell you that you need to put attention to this client because they provide you a 3. The 3 is not going to show in your web page, so you just need to review with the client what happened, call them, take an action, and see if you can change that Google review. You can filter for unhappy customers, and of course, internal is going to show you if your agents have provided you also some Google review. So for example, we can see that Roshan, the CEO and owner, provide a 5, right? So you can review internal and unhappy customers. And if you have different locations also, the system is going to show you the locations that you have. So at this moment, we have different locations, but let's say that this is a location that we have in Kolkata, in India. At this moment, no one has provided us Google review. But if you guys have 5 locations, true locations, you can take a look and see which of those locations probably you need to focus or that you want to push more. This is about a Google review. Then talking about NPS, that this is a feature that we have been trying to push with you guys. As Marina mentioned, NPS is going to be something that is going to be internal versus the Google review. And how you are going to see your promoters. The system is going to show you all, and then you will see all the promoters. That promoters, it's above 9 to 10. And then your passives, it's 7 to 8, and detractors, it's 0 to 6. At this moment, we do not have anyone that has provided us any passive or detractors, but it's going to show us similar as here in promoters. Like they provide you a 6, a 5, or a 7 that you need to connect with this person in order to review what happened, or either you need to ask your agent to connect with the client. Probably you want to run a report, so you can download the NPS, and the system is going to, of course, give you the document, and you're going to find who is the agent of that account. Or if you need to run some numbers, percentage that you want to play around, you can do it when you download the file. So here you have who is the agent assignee. And other way to review who is the agent, it's clicking in the name. And the system is going to open you the Content 360. And you can see here in the Content 360 showing that this person provides you an NPS of 9. So all the people that provide you NPS now in the Content 360 is also showing you that they are a good promoters. We have one question, Laura. So probably this question is for you, Marina. Laura is asking us, how do you manage the calls that don't go through because they were at landline? Do you know a program that will tell you that the contact number you have is a mobile number?
I don't know if it matters if the phone number is a landline. In my experience, we haven't dealt with issues between mobile or landline numbers in Sly Broadcasting. I think the voicemail, I'm under the impression the voicemail goes through whether it's a landline or a home or a mobile number.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And The difference, I mean, with the mobile number, it's that it's live broadcast. It's going to take you, it's going to send you the text message also, versus the office number that is going to be the voice mail drop. Probably we need to explore more inside the data in slide broadcast, Laura. Yeah. I will take a look in this to see how slide broadcast is showing this data. Typing. Okay. So this was about NPS and Google reviews, that you can find it in the module. But also, guys, as we have shared in all of these webinars, there's different ways that you can play around with NPS or Google reviews. We provide you the tags in the pipelines, Google review, NPS, that you can include in your automations. Or if you want to build a pretty template and you want to add the links of your NPS with a button, so you can drag and drop the button and you can copy and paste the link for the NPS and for the Google review, so you can have a pretty template or a catchy template that your clients will open. So this is the way. And then, of course, then we have the workflow automations in which we provide you the Google reviews. And sometimes also we suggest, like, for example, if you are going to send the Google review email, probably 1 week later or 3 days later, you send the NPS email too. So sometimes agencies, they want to send it to the two of them in one email, but that is something that you need to analyze. Like, probably you didn't receive neither both, so you need to separate your Google review template from the NPS, and you need to send it into different emails. Guys, that every Wednesday we have the weekly webinars. So keep posted in the emails that we send you during the week. And tomorrow we are going to send you the recap and the recording for this session. If you have any question, you know that you can connect with us in support chat or directly pin your CSM, and we will be happy to help you. And thank you, Marina. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Montserrat.
Thank you,
And
guys.
I'll drop my email in the chat in case anybody has any marketing questions too.
That's amazing. Yeah, so save Marina's email. She can help you later if you have any question about Google, NPS, or how to improve your email campaigns.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye-bye.